guys, welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey.
And Becca, welcome back, y'all. I have missed y'all. I feel like I abandoned y'all. This is not Annie. Y'all are not orphans because we are back. We're here to claim our custody back.
Girl, you know Rebecca always got some, that's her side. Guys, I'm super, super excited to be back for season 2 of Too Much. As you guys can see, we're in a different space.
For sure.
This is all courtesy of Rebecca and her mortgage. We are so thankful.
Girl,
no, but
what?
for real, I feel like when we took the pause, it's kind of scary because, like we've mentioned several times, this isn't our first venture, and sometimes when we have pause on other ventures, they just never came back. So this is like, we're coming back and better.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was on the phone with one of my friends. I said, if we didn't do this again, I'd breathe.
But thankfully, that's why there's 2 of us here, because we keep each other in check. I'm
Yes.
like, it's okay. Well, maybe you don't have to breathe. JK, just kidding. We need you to breathe in. But anyways, if this is your first time here, welcome. Like I said, I'm Shey.
And I'm Becca, y'all.
And we talk about all things culture, news, sports, all the things. So please make sure that if you don't want to listen to news, you could just scroll on through and find whatever pleases you. Whatever you enjoy, we most likely got it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you stay tuned and subscribe.
Yes. I see that since we've been in our little departure, we've gained a few subscribers. Obviously not as much as expected, but again, we weren't being consistent, but we are back. We're being consistent. So as Shayla was saying, we have a lot of content for you guys. I know that I've seen some people subscribe, but we're back on the hustle, we're back on the grind, we're back to doing what we do, too much, as always. So as we mentioned, we have a lot to talk about, but with everything, we always start with our weekly rundown. You guys will see it. There's a new intro. There's new little segment
Graphics.
songs, little graphics. You know, like we spiced it up.
What's happening?
Yes, Shayla, so what's happening?
So I feel like this weekly rundown is going to be hefty because we haven't recorded episodes in like a month.
Yes.
So I am still unemployed. I feel like, you know, your girl is in the job hunt and that has been stressful.
Yeah.
But, you know, I feel like, thank God I believe in God, because I honestly feel like if I didn't have faith, I would be like in a psych ward, because it is super stressful. You know, when you continue to apply to these jobs and you never hear back and it feels like each application is just going into a dark hole or whatever.
Limbo.
Yeah. So that's been upsetting, but you know, I have a good support system that, you know, checks up on me and like helps me send me jobs. So that's still going on. Hopefully my job is out there. If you're watching and you hiring, your girl is here. Okay. Let's see what else. We went to see the F1 movie. That's another thing. We went to watch the F1 movie. I've never in my life knew anything about that sport. I knew it was just like cars racing, speeding. And the movie was actually pretty good. And we went to theaters to record our trailer.
That was an experience.
The thing is like we have very big dreams and ambitions. And honestly, we each did like our own version of like a trailer for season 2. And we were like, my idea was just not going to happen. So we're like, let's do this. This is probably going to be like, we can do this. Recording in public places is so hard. We really needed another person to record us bad, but we didn't have it. But again, follow us on Instagram. You guys can see what
our trailer was. And honestly, it was an experience nonetheless. And like Shayla mentioned, if we had another person there, I'm sure it would have been easier.
Right.
But the fact that like, I will tell you, Shayla had bare bones to deal with. And then I just did some little cosmetic touches. But Shayla did her big one. Because everybody was like, yo, y'all did this.
So, honestly, as I was editing, I say, honestly, forget about a trailer. Who needs a trailer?
Honestly, I said to Shayla, I was like, if this don't work out, I promise you I don't care.
Literally, shout out to being able to just mute all the audio and just play your music, because it was crazy. But that was that. If you guys have not watched Tracee Ellis Ross, she is an actress. She also is the CEO of Pattern, the hair care brand. She dropped this like Roku travel series, and in it, she talks about like traveling solo, right? She's 52, and she mentioned like in one of the episodes how Oprah has described her as like the poster child for singledom. And she's like, I don't want to be that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't put that
she
on
wants
me.
to be seen as someone who is whole. Like, I'm paraphrasing. She phrases it in a much better way than I can. But I think if you are in your mid to late 20s, you have to watch that because, we discuss this all the time on the podcast. Like, we set all these goals for ourselves. Like, we want to be married by this time. And regardless of if you want to accept it or not, when you do see everybody your age getting married, engaged, you sometimes feel like, wow, I'm so behind schedule. Especially like in the season of life that I am. Like, I'm 28, unemployed, single. Like, you can literally feel like life is going to crumble. And so when you see Tracee Ellis Ross, such a successful woman, she has, you would think like everything going on. And she's like, no, I still struggle, but I have to still continue to live life. Like, I'm 52. So what if I'm like, well, I can't travel until I find my partner or I have kids? Like,
you won't never do anything in life.
Never live life. So watch it. It's free if you have Roku or just online. You can watch that. Another thing, the weather has been intense.
Girl.
I'm all pro heat. I'm like the poster child for heat. But honey, if you getting out the shower sweating, that's a problem.
Yeah, shower part 3.
Girl, that is insane. But I feel like weather as a whole has been like, there's no in between. If it's heat, it's heat to the max. If it's rain, it's flooding rain. Climate change.
It's supposed to rain today too.
Yeah, I was seeing signs as I was driving here, like expect flooding in the afternoon or whatever. So flash flooding.
Shayla might be sleeping over.
Girl, I'm getting home, honey. Listen, I was raised in the Caribbean. My mom was very big on, no, you have a bed. I have a bed. I will be driving home, honey.
Girl.
Another thing, Bad Bunny's residency is happening in Puerto Rico right now. FOMO Israel. I'm not there. I wish.
What does FOMO even stand for?
Feeling of missing out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've always thought it was just like F my life or like
what?
F my own. I swear to you. Every time people say that, I'm like, what are you? I'm like, I must be missing a word because there's not.
No, feeling of missing out. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm 1,000% sure that is that. And I want to be there, but life hasn't worked out for that.
Yeah.
And what's another thing I want to talk about? I thought I couldn't work out without eating. and during this last month, because I have this very bad thing. I don't know if any of you guys can relate. I've had several job interviews. I'm like, this is so embarrassing to admit, but whatever.
It's not embarrassing. It's the process.
Right. I've had several job interviews, and this one of the last interviews I did, I felt very confident, like, oh, I may get this. And so I try to go to the gym at least 4 times a week. So I was like, let me start getting into this habit now of like, I got to wake up at this time to be able to like make it to the gym and arrive on time for work. So I started waking up at 6 a.m, going to the gym immediately, just like drink water with collagen and like finish a water bottle. And that was enough to like make me feel a little bit full to be able to successfully like work out. And I was like, oh wow, I can work out without a meal. Because before that, I was heavy on, I need my breakfast before I hit the gym. And here I am now. At least I found that out. I found out that I could work out without breakfast. No job. But it is what it is. On top of your week.
Girl, what is wrong with you? So I would say, first off, I want to say I missed you guys because I feel like I told y'all when we like did our New Year's thing, I want to make sure like I have more of a schedule and create a routine for myself. So like us being gone for like a month, that kind of like tore up like the schedule I already had started setting up for myself.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, okay, on Thursdays, I'm gonna do this. On Fridays, we're gonna do this. And then this is done. Right. And so like, I just had Thursdays and Fridays that were free, but then Shayla and I were still trying to figure out things, set things up. We have some interviews that are coming out for you guys that I'm really excited for y'all to watch because like we said, we're switching things up for season 2, but this is about me right now. So,
but we love y'all.
Right. We love y'all. So, I want to say you mentioned, watching the F1 movie. I actually really liked the F1 movie. I'm not really a movie girl, but I really liked it to the point where I've been looking for like NASCAR race tickets and stuff like that. But none of them.
I think it'll be fun.
It would be fun because I didn't know there was that many black people who work in the NASCAR space.
Are there?
Yes, like the pit stop people and stuff like that. This one dude, he won.
He was like the first
black person. I'm thinking I'm gonna see a dark skinned dude pull out the car.
No, he's definitely mixed.
Girl,
don't quote me on that.
Girl,
I saw him. He did an interview with NBC News Now, and yeah,
it was giving light skinned Teddy Graham. I was so lost. But anyway,
but we don't judge. Right. There are very much light skinned black people.
Yes. I know some white Haitians, so it's just like it's okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, I really want us to go to one. So if you end up seeing us do a video about us going to our first NASCAR space, just know I am on the hunt. And if you know of any places near New Jersey or New York, the one I saw in New York was like 2 hours into New York. So it wasn't really like New York. Okay. It was like outside of New York City.
But I mean, that's better than having to take a flight to Miami.
Facts. So we definitely will be going to one soon. If not this year, then definitely next year, because I'm on the hunt. I want to go. The next thing I want to talk about, right? I watched this movie called The Life List on Netflix. I cried bad, girl.
What is it about?
So it's basically like this girl's mom, she passed away. And like when she passed away, the daughter was working for her mother's company. Mm-hmm. And so she thought since she was working for her mom's company, when she passed away, like the company was automatically going to go to her. Mm-hmm. And so when they were reading out the will, the mom basically said like, gave the company to the daughter-in-law of one of the sons instead of the daughter. And like, so then the daughter was like, what are you doing? Like, this, that, and the third, like apparently her inheritance isn't going to come to her until a later date. And so like the attorney was like she wants me to have this conversation with you in private. So basically the whole premise of it is like the mom said like she felt like her daughter was very stagnant in life and just going with the flow and the emotions, and she wasn't doing what she really wanted to do in life. Like, and so basically while her mom was like getting her affairs in order because like she had like some terminal illness, she basically found like a life list that the girl had made when she was younger. And she was like, I want you to complete all these different things that you said you wanted to do when you were younger so you could feel alive again and stop being so stagnant in life. And the mom was like, and the part that like broke me, and I'm getting sad thinking about it right now. Well, not sad, because it's just like I related to like that, is like the mom said like, I'm paraphrasing here, but the mom basically said to the daughter like in the video, like, I'm not there anymore to dig you out, but I can give you the shovel. And I'm like, oh, every day, like we just are digging out of it. Yeah. And like as someone who consistently feels stagnant in life and feels like, like I'm just going through the motions, like when she said that line, it just hit. I don't know why it hit me so bad, but it just hit.
To that point, I feel like also of the point of being stagnant, I think sometimes when we are very comfortable, you don't grow, right? Yeah. Like you have to be uncomfortable in order to grow. And I think it's hard. It's hard, right? Because it's like, you need the bills paid. Like, why would I want to try something new? And it's like, well, you got to struggle. And the mom...
Yeah, no, like, and like the movie was cute. Like, all in all, like the first parts were like sad and everything like that. Like, if you think about like the mom passing away, everything like that, it's really sad. But like, as the movie progresses and you see her like doing different things, like finding the love of her life, this, that, and the third, like it's cute.
Things
like
get better.
Yeah, like you smile and stuff like that. But like, it's just something about that part. Like, mind you, I'm watching the movie, I was smiling. Then the mom said that line, and I was like, I had to check to make sure I wasn't getting my period, because I didn't expect to cry that bad. Like, I just cried out of nowhere. I'm like, dang, that hit me bad. But I was like, it's really cute. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, you heard me talk about it. So the next thing I want to talk about, so Rebecca has conversations with people a lot. So I was having a conversation with an acquaintance, and we had hung out one time before, and like me and her had met through social media. When we hung out the one time, she was cool, calm, collected. We talked about things we like to do for fun. So I already knew that drinking and smoking was something that she likes to do. Now, Shayla and I, out of the both of us, we don't really smoke. Well, we don't smoke. Yeah, I'm like, really is crazy. We don't smoke, and like I'm more of a social drinker. Shayla's a one drinker when she goes out once in a while, right? So, mind you, everybody knows that about me. Like, I only drink for social events, and like sometimes I don't even really drink like that, and I don't smoke at all. So that was already one thing, and then my acquaintance texted me. She was like, hey, like, I don't know, I was thinking about you. Like, I really wanted to hang out, like, da da da. And I was like, yeah, like, girl, let me know when you're free. Like, we can hang out. Like, I don't mind. And she was like, and I'm trying to remember what she said because it just like blew mine. It's because we're on the phone when she said this. And so she was like, oh, like, you know, it's just difficult because, like, you know, you don't drink and smoke. And I was like, she was like, so, like, yeah, like, what would we do for fun? And I was just sitting here, like, I stopped. Mind you, I got out the shower. I'm wiping water down my legs. I stopped. I said, wait. I said, what are you talking about? I was like, girl, there's more to life than drinking and smoking. And so then it really, like, I said to her, I was like, we as a society need to learn how to get hobbies, because if you think your main source of entertainment is drinking and smoking, there's no reason for you to be talking to Rebecca. You need to be calling a rehab. Okay. Like it doesn't make sense. I don't understand where people get this mentality that like all you have to do to have fun is drink and smoke. It's like, you don't have any true prospects in life. You don't have no true ambition besides getting high, getting drunk, and using a substance to bring you to an alternate reality.
Yeah. Or also people that like can't go clubbing or can't be in a social event without a shot or a drink. I'm like,
I just need some good music.
Yeah. And also I just feel like people always make it seem like, this is why I thank God I'm not a peer pressure type of girl. Because it's like, you're actually making it hard because you feel like unless we smoke or got a plug or have liquor, we can't have fun.
Exactly. It's like,
you're being problematic.
I'm like, fine, like, get your life together.
Yeah. And another point to that, like, people feel like, oh, well, because I don't partake in those things, you can't do it. I'm like, girl, if you want to do that, you go right on ahead and do it. That has nothing to do with me. It's your body. You do it. And, you know, obviously I don't have asthma. Well, not obviously, but I don't have asthma and stuff. So it's not like you can't smoke because I'm about to die. Like, you do you and I'm going to do me. Like, I'm not clocking people.
Yeah. And like the thing that I think that made me so triggered, like and the way I responded to her was because like that's not the first time I've heard something like that. Like I've heard people say, oh, Rebecca, like you don't drink and you don't smoke, so like what will we really do? And I'm just like, you don't think that question sound crazy to you? You don't think that sounds like, that don't sound wild to you? That's like my friends talk about some, oh, Rebecca, well, you can't really go on a walk with me because you don't got a dog. What does me having a dog got to do with I got able legs?
Right. Talking about crazy weather.
Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yo.
Let me check the weather app, child.
That was crazy. Yo, that thunder just...
I said, girl.
The weather group, Mother Nature said, period.
I said, oh my God.
But you know, the weather app ain't really accurate no more because, you know, situations.
But anyways, if you are that type of person, please focus on you and yourself, because I am literally, first of all, we are talkers, so we really could carry anything. We don't need nothing.
Exactly.
If our throat is working and we got some water, we good.
Even when my voice ain't working, Shayla be telling Rebecca, stop talking, like your voice healed.
Yeah.
But
we could carry entertainment.
Like that was just a whole process. Also, since we've been gone, obviously we'll have an episode future where we discuss this more. But Shayla and I have been trying to go on dates and get acclimated into the dating world. And let me just say one word: failure. Okay. That's all I'll say to that.
Right. So on that note, if you guys relate or want to comment on any of our weekly rundown life things, please make sure you leave us a comment. We love to engage with you guys. And also, tell us about your week.
If you hear the weather, I can't control Mother Nature.
We can't control God. It is what it is. So now let's move on to our news topics.
Yes. So the first thing we're going to talk about is there was recently another shooting and it happened in New York. So I'm going to give you guys a brief details. So a 27-year-old man drove across the country from Las Vegas to Midtown Manhattan and entered a high-rise office tower that houses the NFL in broad daylight and opened fire. He killed 4 people, including an off-duty NYPD officer, a building guard, and 2 corporate professionals. One of the victims was she was the CEO or like a executive for this company called Blackstone, and left behind a wife. Oh, so the officer who also was killed, he left behind a wife and he had 2 children with her, and his wife is also 5 months pregnant. And a 5th person who was wounded. Then the gunman killed himself, right? So he had worked in a surveillance department at the Horseshoe Casino in Las Vegas, and investigators say he brought both an AR-15 style rifle and the BMW he drove from his casino supervisor. So he bought the gun and the car from the supervisor at his job.
Las Vegas job.
Exactly. And so then in a note found on him, he blamed the NFL and claimed that he suffered from CTE, and though no medical evidence supports that diagnosis. So I just want to say really quickly, so they were saying in like his letter and everything like that, he was mentioning how like, you know, he was a part like a football when he was in school and things like that.
He was younger.
And then he was diagnosed with CTE, and then now he was like going to have revenge against the NFL. But the thing that stopped him from going to the NFL is he took the wrong elevator. And so he ended up at that, I believe it housed the Blackstone company, I believe. So when he walked into that office building, that's when he opened fire. And the thing that's crazy though, also, this is like the thing that's the craziest thing to me. I mean, yes, the whole thing is crazy, right. But when he was going into the elevator, a woman was coming out of the elevator and he let her go. Like, mind you, he already killed all these different people in the lobby. But then once the elevator door opened, you would think he would open fire on like an easy target, unsuspecting. And he just let her go. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was telling Rebecca, I feel like after that, you gotta be in church every day. If you're not a believer after that, that's crazy.
But Shayla don't believe me when I said this. But I said to her, I was like, if I ever have like a near-death experience, that moment, I will change my life so good. I'm going to become a pastorette. Like,
you're not going to become a pastor.
I'm telling you this. I'm going to build a church. Like, that would...
I believe you could build a church. Becoming a pastor and building a church, two completely
girl. And when they was looking for a new pope, I was telling everybody at my job, I was like, I'm gonna be the popette. Like, I'm telling you, I could do it. What? My sermons would hit.
So for me, when I saw the news, number one, it's just insane to me how this happened in broad daylight. I think, unfortunately, I feel like massive shooting accidents, incidents happen everywhere in America. Like, it's becoming like a natural thing. It should not be. But in the United States of America, it has become that. And when I saw the surveillance footage of him just walking, like he was holding a water bottle. When I tell you,
it was like the gun's just on his side as if he got like a labubu on his belt.
That thing is so scary because it's like, it doesn't matter. And New York is supposed to have like strict gun laws too. And it's still like he drove all the way from Las Vegas to New York. Like, that is insane to me. And, my heart goes out to everybody that was affected by this, the families. Because again, you're just waking up, going to work as everybody does. And then now you lost a family member. And the thing that always pisses me off is like, if you are going to do this, I cannot stand when you do all of this to people, right? And then you kill yourself. Like, I am just like, because as a family, like, I'm not saying that you're ever going to feel like, what's the word? Like
whole again.
Whole, basically. But also like, when people are like, I want, not payback, but like.
Retribution?
I don't know what my Spanglish is getting to me, child. Like, you're like, what's going to make you feel good, right? Like, how much jail time is going to make you feel good type stuff. But it's like when someone ends their life, it's like, you can never, that's it. The person's gone. They left.
The easy way out.
Yeah, they took your partner's life, your aunt, uncle's life. And I'm just like, it's so infuriating. And I think, like, something has to change. I don't know what, but something has to change. And I find that the supervisor who sold the gun to the shooter, I was reading how he, as of right now, there's no like legal charges against him. And I think, again, people don't know everybody's medical records. I'm not like, hey Rebecca, can I see your medical records before I sell you this? But it's like I don't know. That's very weird. So I'm interested to see what's gonna happen to the person that sold this rifle. Again, people should not have rifles. Like, what do you need that? If you want to save yourself, whatever, self-defense, I don't think you need a rifle for that.
My whole thing is, I think for me, is like, whenever things like this happen, I'm very interested to see the conversations afterwards, because I already know nothing is going to happen. I already know nothing is going to be done. Yeah. We're going to talk about this for 2-3 weeks, and then we're going to go back to living life as normal. We're going to pretend like we care, and nothing's going to happen. That's just the reality. And if you don't believe that, talk to me again in 3 weeks when we're not talking about this anymore.
And the thing is, there's been so many things happening in America. Like, the news cycle, it's like every other day we have another thing. Like, there's been so many celebrities that have, like, also passed away. Like, it's every day it's something new. When we were in the hiatus, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
The whole, like, the camp that got, like, drowned in or, like, flooded in Texas, like, that's also another thing that it happened. We talked about it for, like, 2-3 weeks. That is so devastating. Like, again, because so many crazy things are happening in life, it's like, on to the next. But those people, like, the people that are affected, they're the ones that are living with that pain on an everyday basis. You know, like, the cameras will leave, the reporters will leave, but they are there. You know what I mean? Like, if you sent 2 of your kids to that camp, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be a lifelong dent in your life.
Yeah, and I think, like, back to the point that I was making about like the conversation afterwards. Like, I've been seeing all these different news organizations do conversations about CTE and security, and I'm like, why do we just keep skating over? It's like the point will be right here, and y'all will take a skateboard and do a long jump over. I just don't understand, like, the conversation of gun reform. And I thought gun reform was actually going to be brought up more because he wasn't white. Right? This man, I think he was, like, Blasian, I believe.
I don't know what his nationality
but, like, he wasn't a white male. White, right? So, like, I thought the conversation would be more towards, like, well, we need gun reform, this, that, and third, because obviously when a minority or a person of color does something, that's when we feel like there needs to be change or action needs to be taken, because we're just so damaged because, like, look what the people we allowed into our country are doing.
But I think it's probably, well, again, I don't know, this is just me talking, but because it was something like the gun was purchased in Las Vegas and then he came cross country to New York, that does have restrictive gun rights, but
because other states are very more lenient looser with this stuff, it's allowed to be brought here. Like, and
you can bring it.
At one point, he was driving through Jersey. What if he decided, like, you know what? Let me stop at this Wawa real quick and do this here instead, you know? And, like, I feel like I'm not going to, like, I'm the type of person, if I believe something that's alternative to the facts, I'm not about to sit here and get on camera and be like, because at the end of the day, like, I already talk smack about people who have conspiracy theories. And so I'm the type of person, if I believe something and there's no facts to it, I'm not about to just spread it to the world. But I will say, I feel like there's more to the story, but at the end of the day, the investigators are saying that they're doing what they're doing. They found this, they found that, and they found that. Yeah. So my heart does go out to the families who lost their lives. This is like stupid stuff.
It just sucks that this has become a routine thing. And I also do want to mention that the healthcare system in America sucks. You know what I mean? Like, when you have any sort of, whether that's like mental, you know, like you need mental assistance or like physical assistance, the healthcare system in America is not good. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people need money to get the resources that they need, and it's like, you're not giving those resources. Or it's like, oh yeah, well, you need to go to therapy, and then your health insurance don't cover therapy or a therapist. And then when you find someone that is approved by health insurance, they're like, oh, well, you have a wait list of like 6 months. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, we also need to make space for the reality that, yes, you can make all the gun reforms that you want, but if you're not helping or improving systemic issues that are happening in America, then it don't matter how strict the laws are. The same way, like, you know, when you tell kids, don't do this, they're gonna find a way to do it. And so we need to help, like, the root cause before we try to fix everything around it.
And, like, to me, like, and this kind of goes like hand in hand with the point that I'm trying to make in terms of like, we're having these conversations and we know it's going to lead nowhere, because like now we're making it seem like CTE is such an important conversation as of right now. Well, we have NFL players who suffer from CTE every single day, who are beating their wives, and they use CTE as an excuse. And it's just like, now, all of a sudden, now that he went to a building, shot people up, now it's like, oh, well, we need to have these conversations. We need to talk to doctors every single day about the effects of CTE, as if we never knew about this already.
Right.
Y'all wait till something tragic happens and we're going to have this useless conversation about CTE. And I'm saying it's useless. It's not an unimportant conversation. Right. I'm saying it's useless because we're not going to actively put things in place to help these conversations progress. We're just going to have this conversation to use as a Band-Aid to make it seem as if people care. And it's just like, then people are like, well, I feel like there was some, like, people started making jokes and stuff like that. And people are like, oh, this is why we can't take nothing seriously. How can we take anything seriously if the conversation is just being had for that thought process of possibly taking it seriously when there's no true execution behind it?
Yeah, it's like a never ending cycle. But on to the second topic that has been like so heavy on my heart. We know in this duo, I am definitely like the more empathetic. Like, I can't see certain things because, listen, I cry just because, you know, if I see somebody hungry or like they need something, like I'm already in tears, and that's just the type of person that I am.
I have to think about it.
Right. But she still cares. Don't get me wrong. So throughout, this is nothing new. We've discussed this, the ongoing war between Israel and Gaza, right? And Hamas. The New York Times released this reporting, and it broke my heart because in it, it's like a video where you see like children, like you can literally see their bones, and they have like a bowl, and they're crying out for help because they want like just like a spoon of food type thing. And that broke my heart because it's like, we focus so much on things that like are luxuries. You know what I mean? Like, we wake up, thank God, and we know that like we have our breakfast there. We don't have to think about like, what am I going to eat for breakfast today? You know, you can get it, whether that's ordering something or you go in your fridge, you get something. You know, you could just go to ShopRite or whatever your shopping center is and get what you need. And you see these children starving for a war. Like, I just think that is absolutely atrocious. And the thing that is triggering about it all, I'm gonna read this little like a snippet of like details of the number of children that are currently starving in Gaza. So children in Gaza are facing a catastrophe of starvation happening in plain sight. This week, the New York Times revealed photos and videos from Gaza, and like I said, it broke my heart. More than 300,000 children under 5 are now at risk of acute malnutrition. Thousands have already been hospitalized. Some may be asking, why are they not receiving aid? Because we see trucks being sent. I know a lot of times we see reports like, oh, you know, donate to this organization, or like, we have all these trucks that are ready to go help the people in Gaza. So some people are like, all right, so if the trucks are there, why aren't the people getting the assistance? So Israeli officials claim that aid is flowing, but the people that are actually on the ground, whether that's like the journalists, healthcare workers, they're describing that the hunger situation is worsening daily, right? And the whole issue is the bureaucracy and restrictions that are placed on international non-governmental organizations that are there to help, right? So all of that to say is like, okay, yeah, we have all these trucks here ready for aid, but you have to come get the food at this border. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. But here's the caveat, or like the italicized. It's like, oh yeah, and on your way, you may be bombed. But good luck, go get the food. That is insanity. Like, it is so, I don't care what side you're in, like, oh, I'm this and Israel this and this. Sometimes we get so stuck on this politics things, and it's like we lose sight of the main thing. Like, I don't, like, do you know what that is? People under 300,000 people under 5.
I mean, to me, the reason why, like, I'm not really surprised that this is happening is because, like, this has been happening for years in other countries as well. Yeah. Like, this isn't something new. We know things like this are happening. Mm-hmm. Like, we hear all the reports of things happening in the Congo. We hear things about things happening in, like, all these different countries. Mm-hmm. And, like, this is, like, unfortunately, like, the normal for them, because this is what they've been subjected to for all these different years. So, like, right now, everything that's happening in Gaza and everything like that, like, that's just the new country added to the list that we're seeing things like this happen for.
But it still doesn't make it right.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's like, America loves to step in on situations, even when, like, regardless of what you believe, there's times where you just like, can America stay out of it, right? We want to put our foot and show that we're big brother to all these different places. But the moment that you can actually provide good care, and like we're hearing that if these people walk over to the border to go get the food and stuff like that, they about to get bombed. Think of ways to help. But it's like we don't want to have that more nuanced conversation because we just want to be like, well, we sent aid. What happens with that afterwards is none of our business. Because it's just like, y'all sent aid to Congo and there's still people suffering every single day. Y'all sent aid to Haiti and Haiti's in worse condition than it's ever been. So it's just like, y'all sending aid, but y'all not really giving, like, sending something and actually providing the proper execution with a plan with the aid is what we really need to talk about. But they're not ready for that.
Right. You can't be like, oh, because Israel's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. All of this is going great. But like, clearly the math is not mathing because people are dying from starvation. Like, I don't know. As someone that's like a fatty and I'm already like conscious of like, like that's like, to be for real, like we take advantage of something that's like
every day.
Yes. Like we take it. Oh, of course I'm going to eat, or, oh, I don't want this, or whatever. And there are people right now, like you mentioned, across, not just in Gaza, but like people starving that would give everything to eat the scraps that like we're just throwing away for funsies. I don't know. Obviously, I feel like being empathetic, I have to, for my own sake, pick and choose what I focus on because my life is already a lot. But, I think it is important to talk about these things because, they're happening. And I feel like the more oblivious you are to it, I don't know. You need a healthy mixture. I just want to talk about 2 other news topics that we're not really going to get into. But they are just happening. So these Epstein files, I don't care if it's released, put back on, discovered. I don't care about none of that because I already know how I feel about President Donald Trump. So regardless of if it's released or not released, it's not really going to change my thought on him regardless. Every day they try to say, okay, well, today they're going to release it. They want this. They want that. Child, regardless of if it's released or not, Trump literally said, grab her by the PUSSY. So it's like, I wouldn't put it past that man. I'm not going to
lie to you. I heard PU and I said, what are we talking about right now? And
but you know the double SY.
Yeah, I got it.
Clock it.
Kitty cat.
And another thing that I want to mention is former Vice President Kamala Harris announcing that she doesn't plan to run for California governor in 2026. I didn't know that was a thing, but also because I'm like from a Jersey girl, I don't really keep up with what's happening in California. But if you were hoping that Harris would be the governor of California, as of right now, it seems that.
But I mean, Ashley shouldn't. Like, I mean, California, I think was blue during the election.
It's still. Oh, okay.
But it's just like the way some of these people was trying to drag on her. I wouldn't give y'all nothing again. Personally, y'all could suffer. Anyway, now let's get into our social corner.
Social corner.
Yes, so if you are new here, let me give you a brief description. If you are reoccurring, then you know what it is, okay? So our social corner is basically where we talk about some of the trending topics that we've been seeing on social media, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or whatever, or something that's been like trending and everybody's giving think pieces about on social media. We want to give our own takes as well. So we have a variety of topics, and instead of focusing on one specific topic like we did in the previous section, we're going to talk about a bunch of different ones in a certain amount of time. So the first thing we are going to talk about, right? You want to do it or you want me to do it?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. The man, the myth, and the dead. Hulk Hogan, right? So there's a lot of mixed reactions right now. So WWE legend Hulk Hogan passed away after suffering a cardiac arrest. While many mourn Hogan as a wrestling icon who helped elevate the sport to global prominence, others are grappling with his history of racist remarks and political
Girl, I'm so sorry, but it feel like
that sounds like a war
What
zone.
happened when it like moves and shakes?
Earthquake?
Yes, it gave earthquake.
I don't know if y'all heard that. It sounded like someone was beating down the wall, but that was really just thunder. Crazy. So where was I? Oh, yes. So, others are grappling with his history of racist remarks and political affiliations. In 2015, Hogan was removed from the WWE program after leaked audio recorded revealed him using racial slurs. In 2024, Hogan publicly endorsed Donald Trump as the Republican National at the Republican National Convention, aligning himself with the Make America Great Again movement. And also he had disowned his daughter because he felt like she was like hanging, like, I don't know, it was like something he said about his daughter about like she's a musician or she was making music, and he was like basically like, oh, she makes that music because she hang around all these black people, like basically type of thing. And there was a point in time where he said like he hopes like him and somebody else when they die they don't come back as black people, like, you know. So like, I'll let you go first because as my empathetic friend as you are.
For me, my main thing is like everything has a consequence. Like, okay, it's great that you did all of this for, you know, the wrestling sport, WWE. Yes, you did have all of that. But in that same breath, you also were a racist. So it's like is it reap what you sow? I don't know if that's the right little phrase, but it's like, okay, you did pass away. And people have a right to feel how they feel the same way you felt comfortable about dropping all these racial slurs and getting on the campaign trail and then doing all of these things and saying all of these disrespectful things. If I feel disrespected, I feel like I have a right to say and feel how I want to feel after the fact. Like, it is what it is. And
right. I feel like if you felt like my presence was such a disgust as a race, why should I care about you when you are dead in the ground? Like that, to me, when I saw he died, I said, oh, okay. And our one friend, she posted it on social media, and I was just like, you know, he was a racist, right? Right.
But also some people did not know.
But it's like also if you choose to support him, because like there's been some athletes who are like a part of the WWE program who
not the program,
girl. Because he thought he was bigger than the program. He thought he was bigger than the program, and cardiac arrest done took him out.
And they took him out. No. Well, let's not go for that. Yeah. But WWE did, in fact, say, you're not bigger than the program, so we're dropping you.
Yeah. So there have been some, like, I know there was one black wrestler who basically said, like, you know, he took his apology into account, and he feels like people should be giving this man more grace and stuff like that. And I just think when it comes to the conversation of giving somebody grace and forgiveness, it gets like there's always a gray area, because forgiveness, I feel like for me, when I think of forgiveness, when I think of grace, I think of it like, can I move past whatever the situation was? Like, I can take into acknowledgement that you said this, and then if I feel like your apology was something truly genuine, then okay, maybe we can move past it. But no, you said what you said. You said you were sorry, not because you were actually sorry, but because you saw the repercussions that came from it, right? And it's like, if you allow if you allow yourself to be blindly like persuaded to believe that somebody can say all this racist stuff today and tomorrow be a changed person, no, you mad because you got caught, not mad because you said it, right?
And also, I just feel like it depends on the individual, right?
Yeah.
Like he didn't just like disrespect one person, right?
No.
It's a whole race. So if you individually accepted that apology, okay, good for you.
Cool, calm, collected,
so
right?
Next.
To me, like, and like we've had this conversation in the past. Like, if I ain't rock with you when you were alive, I'm not about to change my tone and my tune when you're dead. Like, if I ain't rock with you then, I'm not gonna rock with you in the afterlife. And like, listen, I hope he looking up at us, watching us walk, and still live every day and not unaffected.
Yeah, I feel like people have a right to feel the way they feel, and just because someone passes away doesn't mean that you automatically just remove all the stuff that they did while they were alive. Like, everything has consequences. The next one, baby, this one has me smiling from ear to ear. Hannah Montana, child.
Because nobody's perfect. You living, you working.
All right, so
yep.
Miley Cyrus recently did an interview on Sirius XM, and in it, she brought up the fact that Hannah Montana's 20th anniversary is, in fact, you know, on the horizon.
You have been in the business.
It's about to be the 20-year anniversary in March.
I mean, that's insane.
I know. Trust me. I'm like, I want to design something really, really special for it, because it really was the beginning of all of this that now sits here today. It really, without Hannah, there really wouldn't be this kind of this me that
Yes.
it's so crazy to think too that I started as a character that I thought was going to be impossible to shed, and now that's something that when I walk into a space, it's looked at as this sense of kind of like nostalgia or something that you have from your childhood, but I've now been as kind of integrated into everyone's life as the character itself, so that's exciting
That
to
is
get to
such a
celebrate
beautiful
that.
way to put it.
And I am the biggest Disney Channel fan ever, honey. Like, I love Disney Channel down, specifically like late 90s or mid 90s to like the early 2000s. The best era ever. Like, the Hannah Montana movie was the first movie I saw on in theaters here in the US. And I just feel like she mentioned, it gives me such a sense of nostalgia that like it's just, oh my God, whatever it is that if she does do something, because again, this is just speculations, you know, you give us one little seed and we gonna run with it. And so people are now on social media talking about like, oh, I'm ready for the concert. She has not said that there's gonna be a concert. But in our heads, we're like, Buki, if you decide to do that, we will be there front and center. I'm unemployed, but trust me, I will find the funds. I'm against Klarna, but I will use Klarna if need be, because I have to be there at the Hannah Montana concert.
Oh, front and center. And like, my whole thing is, and like, I was talking about it with Amani, and I was like, saying, I'm like, girl, we are at that concert the same way I said I got a fund for Beyonce. I will have a fund for the Hannah Montana concert. Because to your point, like, we grew up on this stuff, right? We grew up watching the Hannah Montana. I mean, to me, it's still crazy how nobody could put two and two together and realize that Hannah and Miley was the same person. When she snatched the wig off, she sang, and nobody said, oh my God, you sound like Hannah Montana. Like, nobody, I mean, I get it. The point of the show is to be clueless and be surprised or whatever like that. But like, to me, growing up, like, I remember going home and like, I know new episodes would be coming out, or like the movie would come out, and me and my friends would be in my room singing, swaying. And when they used to do like Disney, like, you used to learn the dance moves and stuff like that. Because one thing about
sing-alongs, dance-alongs.
Yes. Because what? The hold down, throw down, that was I remember we used to do that like at the school dances, like the hop to the left, stick it, glide.
I feel like the climb was one of like my graduation songs.
Oh my God, that song breaks my heart to this day.
And I feel like the older you get, the more it hits. And listen,
life is a climb, baby.
It's so like, I don't know, it's a pivotal moment, and I think there has to be an age restriction, because girl, I'm no tea, no shade, you gotta be like in your mid to late 20s to be able to get a ticket.
Somebody was saying like, because you know, we said like a lot of people are having these conversations on social media and stuff like that. Some people are like, oh, they're saying that the age restriction is 25 and up, and I'm like, honestly,
I'm 28.
Yeah, 25 and
up.
And up.
Okay.
Yeah, and somebody was like, nah, it needs to be 23 and up. Nah, 25 and up is a nice bread and butter moment. Like, I don't need nobody else. I don't need no youngins. Like, this is, let us have something.
Yeah. I will be there at all costs. And I think she had some sort of like surgery to her vocal cords, which is why she usually does not go on tour. But baby, you could lip sync, and no tea, no shade, I'll still be there.
I'll sing for her.
You put that wig on, and it's just gonna be fire.
And you know what's crazy? We're in the new world of like wigs and everything like that. She could get her a nice little bust down Iana. Like, when I tell you a blonde bust down,
girl. Like, back then they had like the raggedy ones, but now she gonna get a real efficient blonde wig.
She had that Simpson. Now this gonna be 100% Peruvian. Like,
girl, we stand.
What? Oh,
I am I'm telling you, Hannah, Miley, whoever's watching this, sis, you got to do it for the one time. Like, I need to be there. And I know just stepping in, I would just be crying in the arena.
People are showing like the little outfits that they were wearing. Like what Hannah used to be wearing. First of all, I don't know if I could wear that because it was crazy. But I get it though, because I'm going to wear my little shirt from back then a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to DIY something, and I will ensure that I am there. And it's just like, I feel bad for the kids now, because Disney Channel back then was so fire. Like, we had all the good shows.
I don't know if you've been seeing on your TikTok, there's like these like different like tours that happen of people going to like the Disney Channel like song thing.
Yeah, I would be there.
Girl, like they have these different tours that are happening where they have like these Disney Channel stuff. I'm like, yo, every time I see them, especially when they do the soundtrack for Let It Shine, I'll be in there. It's more than crash, more than like more than
the High School Musical soundtrack eats down.
Girl, that when I tell you the whole like they play all these different songs in these tours, and I'm like, they aren't coming to Jersey anytime soon. They choosing these random locations. I'm like, I need y'all to come to Jersey because the way I would act the fool, Prudential could house y'all.
Yeah, we have lots of facilities. You don't see New York, we trying to use our stuff?
Okay.
Hello. All right. On to the next social topic that really took me for a loop. You want me to introduce it? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle Gene ad. If you haven't seen it, don't worry. We will play that ad for you. And we will reflect. If you want, first, let's play the clip.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
So, you heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. So, Sydney Sweeney's recent American Eagle ad campaign titled, quote, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, Jeans, has sparked significant controversy due to its wordplay on jeans. Okay, you know, jeans as in like we all have genes. Damn, they both are like GENES. Right, jeans GENES versus jeans as in the jeans that you wear that are blue.
And then she points to my jumpsuit. We love to see it.
All right, so Sydney Sweeney's has great genes has sparked significant controversy due to its wordplay on jeans with a G and jeans with a J. Critics, aka me being one of them, argue that this pun evokes eugenic themes, particularly as Sweeney is portrayed as a blonde, blue-eyed woman, which some interpret as promoting white genetic superiority. The backlash intensified after Sweeney's direct address in the ad stating, quote, my jeans are blue. While buttoning up a pair of jeans, this line, intended as a clever twist, was perceived by some as racially insensitive and reminiscent of historical eugenics ideologies. In response to the criticism, American Eagle has removed the ad from several platforms. Adding to this, also Duncan released an ad. I think they have several for their like new refreshers.
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan? Genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer. Literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. So if sipping these refreshers makes me the king of summer, guilty as charged.
And in one of them, it's also this white male who's very tanned, and they also bring up jeans. So I don't know what it is with all of these brands and jeans. Let it go. It's 2025, and we can definitely tell that you have no diversity in these areas. And there is a very big difference between diversity and inclusion, because you can have all the diversity you want, but if you're not actually listening to those people or making it a space where we can feel comfortable to express, because you know there's people that is like, oh yeah, we need our diversity numbers up, but you can't say a word because they're like, okay, yeah, and they never take your 2 cents. But how I feel about it, yes, I do think that it was a very bad tasting. First of all, the way she sounded was weird, and number two, nobody in the room thought, like when we were doing a photo shoot, you remember I had like this whole idea, right? I went on Pinterest and one of us was supposed to be on the floor. And I immediately said, oh yeah, we're not doing that because it's just not gonna, like sometimes people don't have, obviously the intention is not, oh, you be on the floor and I'm sitting on on a big chair, but people perceive things differently. And I think that idea immediately was like, oh yeah, we not doing that, and we rejected it. But it's like, you can tell when you don't have diversity in a room.
Yeah. So for me, right, when I saw, like, I remember when I saw a lot of people talking about it and I didn't see the ad. So like when people were talking about it and like giving all these think pieces, I was just like, ooh, I was like, she got the internet mad, and I just kept scrolling, right? So then it finally popped up on my TikTok and I watched the ad and she was like, my jeans are blue. And I was just like, oh, because her blue eyes, right? So like to me, like when I saw this, the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, the whole commercial concept is cringy. Like, I think besides the conversation that people are having about eugenics and everything like that, the whole concept for it is cringy. And people were saying that she was trying to emulate this other commercial that was done in the past with this other lady who was like, she was underage at the time. Like, she said she felt very uncomfortable. I don't want to say, I don't know her name or nothing like that, but people were saying like it compared to that, and they were trying to basically do that. Yeah, replicate that. So to me, because I know very little about Sydney Sweeney, but from what I know about her, like the way she's talking in this like clip and things like that, like that's how she's casted in a lot of movies, like as like this promiscuous, like blonde, blue-eyed girl. So it's like, to me, when I saw the commercial, I was like, it's fitting because like she's typecasted in this space, right? So when I saw this, like I said, for me, like I didn't think like, oh my God, eugenics, like they're trying to promote blonde hair, blue eyes, white people. Cause to me, like, she's like people are like, oh, she's trying to say like the best genes to have is blonde hair, blue eyes, and be white.
In the ad, I don't know if you saw the full ad, but she was like talking about how like genes are passed down from generation to generation, and like they like basically saying that she has the best genes, and then proceeds to talk about her blue eyes. Like, no, and it's totally fine.
No, I get what you're saying. I think for me, I get the concept in terms of the wordplay. Like, they're like, okay, genes, we're gonna play this, that, and third. I get the word play.
It's 2025. We're not here for that.
Wordplay is with everything.
No, I understand that, but when we're talking about genes, and the whole concept is like you have the best genes, and you know the racial tensions in America. I don't care, as a company, and that's another thing. I feel like I've discussed this in other episodes.
If it was you, right, and they had you say genes passed down from this to this to this, would it be a problem?
I feel like I would just like, can we switch this up?
Would you really though?
Genes, I just feel like the whole ad gave weird.
Like I said, I think the concept for the whole ad anyway was very cringy. It's like you being seductive to me talking about genes was very weird, right?
And are passed down.
But I think if it was any other person, and I'm talking about somebody of a different race, and they did this genes thing, it would not have been that big of a deal. And I think for me, it's American Eagle, correct? Mm-hmm. American Eagle was never a brand that was ever for me. I was never interested in American Eagle. So when I saw this, maybe that's another reason why I felt very unaffected, because I was just like, American Eagle is never anything that
like we're not the audience they trying to cater to.
And so like, and I'm not saying like that's right, but at the end of the day, for me, that's my truth, that American Eagle was never a brand that I felt like represented me ever. Because mind you, going to a predominantly white school, they were all going to American Eagle, this, that, and the third. Never appealed to me. When they were going to Aeropostale, never appealed to me. Like, those things did not appeal to me. And also, I think for me, when people sit here and try to say, like, she's trying to say she has the best genes, I have never considered bleach blonde hair, blue eyes, and white skin to be desirable to me.
Right.
So when she says she got the best genes, the first thing I say, you got to have confidence. That's really, like, to me, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, like, I think for me, from, like, a creative standpoint, I get that concept of, like, wordplay and genes. Do I think that the commercial was appetizing in any way? No. Do I feel like it was typecasted? Because that's how I always see Sydney Sweeney, as being, like, promiscuous and looking as if she's a sex object. Did it do that? Yes, it typecasted her. Just the way that she usually is. So to me, I get where everybody's coming from in terms of the eugenics and stuff like that. I just did not take it that way because, again, there's nothing about American Eagle that's ever appealed to me. There's nothing about that girl's eugenics that has ever said attracted to me. And there's nothing about the commercial that was going to motivate me to go anywhere near there.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. I feel like growing up, A, they were expensive, but B, is like, girl, none of them sizes was fitting me. Their size 6, it really is a size 2. Maybe they've changed, but I never really walked into that store. So, you know, maybe they were just trying to cater to their audience, which is primarily white. I just, again, I don't think it was right. And I think if you did have someone in the room, they would have been like, this is a bit weird. And again, there's a difference between diversity and inclusion. You could have all the diversity on a stat sheet, but if you're not actually including them and their decisions, it's not gonna make
I
a
definitely
difference.
agree with you guys. Like, I see, like, I know there's gonna be some people who are gonna misconstrue everything I just said, and I'm not saying I don't understand where people are coming from, but what I'm saying is, like, there's definitely ways that they could have made the ad 1000% better if you're going to go off that concept of genes, because there's different genotypes for everything, right? So it's like the way they could have made it better and had more diversity, equity, and inclusion is if they had various people of different shades talking about some my genes, like genes are passed down from generation to generation. Or if they're going to say like genes are passed down from generation to generation, and they actually had like different
Your
people of
grandma
like, doing things
generations.
like that. Like, I feel like there's a way of execution, especially when you do have those type of elaborate like
ads.
Right. So now also to the Duncan one. When he was like, my golden dinner, I was like, he knew he just picked up a bottle of self-tanner and just rubbed it on him. Like,
Right,
my
because you know it's self-tan when it's mad
orange. Like, it was giving Oompa Loompa. So,
I'm like, child, that's not a true tan.
I was just like...
But my thing is, like, those are things, it's like, why couldn't you just get someone that's like
tan.
Like me? I am like all shades. Depending on when you catch me, baby, I could be extra dark or extra white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, why couldn't you just get a naturally tan person for the golden thing? Like, why are we faking it when we have it?
I just think these concepts were just very executed, very cringily. Like, it just like...
Cringily. Add that to what
Girl, let's add it for real. Because, like, to me, I was just sitting there, I'm like... When Shayla sent it to me, she was like, oh, I'm just letting you know, like, I'm going to mention this. And I looked at the ad, I said... What is this?
And I'm just like, if you wanted to do a golden one, why couldn't you just find someone that is naturally like caramel or like chocolate skin? I also want to mention another thing. You know how people always be like, oh, they always want to make everything about race. They always want to make everything about race. And then y'all make it so the Duncan ad talking about some genes and genetics and this, and I get it on the American Eagle.
He said, I got my analysis back.
Right. And then for the American Eagle thing, it was like a word play on that. I just feel like, but they bring up the blue eyes, like the stereotypical genetic things. And it's like, well, no, you guys make it about race. And that's why we clock it every single time.
Yeah, I just think when you do have like these ad spaces, and like Shayla always says, like, oh, like Rebecca, you're the marketer, you like that marketing conversation, because like I do think marketing to people, this is why Christmas is one of my favorite holidays, because the way it's marketed, the way that like we convince people as a whole, like this is like this is the meaning of this, and it's just like, I think when it comes to marketing, you have to be very intentional, and you have to also remember, just because you're designating something to your audience, but what you're also doing is trying to promote to people who aren't already like accustomed to your brand, right? So it's just like, if you have never been interested in American Eagle like me, and you do a commercial like this, and like, again, I have no correlation to Sweeney. Like, the girl got nothing to do with me. I don't care about nothing she got going on. And then I'm seeing all this buying jeans. I'm gonna be like, girl, what are we doing here? Like, what is going on? This man talk about stuff. I got my color analysis back and I'm sun-kissed, whatever. What? Sir, you bought that from L'Oreal self-tanner. Stop playing with me.
Yeah. And I think also that's why it's so important as women of color, like, support people that support you.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example of like, we was never purchasing from American Eagle, period. They not catered to us. Like, that was never our cup of tea. Right. But like, go where you are wanted and appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many other clothing brands that are Black owned, Latino owned, that you can go out and support. Like, coffee shops that are small owned. Like, go where you are appreciated. Because these companies, I also remember like a few years back when Kendall Jenner did the Pepsi Coke ad.
Oh, it was Coke? Or Pepsi or something.
It was like a soda ad, and it was like, mind you, like peak of all the protests happening. And this girl just pulled up, this whole chaos happening, police officers and everything, and she over here just opening up a can of Pepsi. I'm like, girl, are you okay? And also, like, again, I'm a nobody, but like, I think when you go into these rooms, sometimes people just care about the money, but like, you are the face of this, whether you want to agree with it or not. Like, oh, well, I just went with the scripts. well, baby, you are the face.
But I think also it's very important also who you pick to have in these spaces, right? So like, and I'm talking about in terms of like who you choose to have the face of these campaigns, because there's a lot of times where like I see certain people that I know, like celebrities and stuff, that I do not like, that if they are the face of an ad, I'm automatically not going to be a part of that brand. Like, prime example, we'll talk about Love Island a little later, but like Huda Beauty. There was a girl on, or Huda, I think it's Huda. So Huda Beauty, they just did a partnership where they have a collab happening with one of the girls who was just in this recent season of Love Island, and her name was Huda. Now, there's a lot of mixed reactions when it comes to that girl, because some people do not like her. I am one of them. And there's some people who love her and think she could do no wrong. And now, because I see that collab and I see what you're aligning yourself with, I'm automatically uninterested in the brands. And I hate that, because I love this one concealer by Huda Beauty. But because I see that you're going to sit here and correlate with her, and I've seen the things that some of her fan bases have said when it comes to Black, brown, Latinas, and everything like that, I don't want nothing to do with that girl. So now you lose a customer. But again, the people who love her, they're going to be now going to Huda Beauty, because they're like, so you're like, you go to where you feel like your morals and everything align with best. And like, when you do make that decision, just make sure that you are comfortable with it. Now, will I ever go to an Aerie? Will I ever go to an American Eagle? They don't got nothing for me. You see this voluptuous booty? They don't got nothing to squeeze over this. Okay?
I feel like if you got any type of curve, it's not for you. That's why we got Levi's. But anyways, on to the next. On to our next. Oh. No, go ahead. I was just going to say, we're not going to talk about this, but I saw this report of like how Celsius, a lot of like, some high noon, the drink, you know, the high noon's drink.
I don't know none of these brands. I know Celsius, but I never heard of High Noon.
Okay, well, essentially, Celsius is like energy drink. So some of the High Noons were recalled because they essentially, like, there was some sort of processing error where, like, people were out here thinking they were drinking Celsius, but they were actually drinking the alcoholic beverage. I'm like, imagine you get caught.
Is High Noon owned by Celsius?
I don't think I think they're separate, or maybe like they're just manufactured in the same type of
so place. The packaging was wrong. Okay.
So it was giving like, oh yeah, you think you're drinking your Celsius drink, about to head to
imagine giving that to a 16-year-old.
Work out. Well, I don't think you should be drinking energy drinks at that age.
Girl, I know some people drinking Red Bulls.
Oh my God. Yeah, energy drinks are like a big thing, especially Celsius. But I'm like, imagine you over here, like, you're so tired, you're drinking a Celsius because you're driving, and then you get stopped by a cop or something, and like they think you drunk, and you like, I just drank a Celsius,
and they looking at you like you lying. And it's like, and then imagine like that happens to you, and then you got this report. I'll be in that courtroom like,
absolutely,
you see.
Baby, send me my money immediately.
Okay, run me my apology, sir. Right. But the next thing we're going to talk about, so as you know, your girl has been a part of the Love Island train for this whole season 7. And I want to say this to y'all. Look at me when I say this. I will never watch another show with you low intellectual people again. Not all of y'all.
Right.
Not all of y'all.
Right. Thank
but
you for
some
watching.
of y'all. Yes. No, not y'all. I'm talking about the people who made this experience such a hellhole for me. Because I don't like to argue on social media. I really don't. This should have been a part of my weekly rundown. But let me give y'all a quick little rundown. So I don't like to argue on social media because I know how my mouth gets, and I already know that I'm building a platform, and I know like people go to my page and like see this, that, and da.
Right. We have careers to build.
Exactly. But seeing some of these think pieces as the season was progressing, and seeing how some of these people could look at a show and have such a completely different opinion from you was like so mind-boggling to me, to the point where like I had to start putting out little statements of my own. And like, you know, some of them went trending. Some people like to argue with me and things like that. And it's just like, I just feel like a lot of people lack discernment. And when I say discernment, I mean looking at something and looking at it as a whole and being able to dissect it. And I think that's what's so interesting about reality TV, or this version of reality TV, because back then reality TV, what you saw is what you saw.
So before you continue, if you've never watched Love Island, can you explain to people, like, you just said Love, but what is that?
So Love Island basically is where they have, I forget the number of people who come into this house, this villa. Island. Yes. villa, and it's in Fiji, and basically it's a bunch of strangers who come into this whole, like, you got, like, I want to say it's like 5 females, 5 men, and then from there you couple up, and it's the couple with the best connection who have made the best connection who win in the end. In the win, like, the winner is voted on by the public, right?
Okay, perfect.
So one of the things that they do on there is, like, they have these phrases like, can I pull you for a chat? It's like where you're trying to explore people, like, see who's your best match, who's your best fit. And as the season progresses, they have bombshells, or people who come in and they basically, like, bombshell it up. Like, you know, you see whose dynamic you could put to the test.
Right.
You see if you can find your own connection, if
They
there's a
shake
better
things
connection.
up.
Exactly. And then there's also a portion in it where you go to Casa Amor. So this was my first season watching Love Island without it just being snippets on TikTok. Like, I watched the season not in its entirety, because after this one episode I did not watch again. So it's just like they go to Casa Amor where they're introduced to like 6 new guys or 5 new guys, and like you see what it is, and like then they have brought some girls to the other house, like the actual villa for the guys, and like they were trying to see if their original connections would triumph these new connections, right? So, you know, there was like a lot of diverseness when it came to that. And just seeing how a lot of these conversations brought about showed a lot of racial, like,
undertone.
Yes, when it came to how certain people reacted and how they were perceived versus how other people who didn't even react to the full magnitude of other people, how they were perceived, right? So I feel like that's where I was saying that a lot of people lack discernment when it came to that, because it's just like you could see something and see somebody act 10 times worse and feel like that person deserves more grace than someone who hasn't shown any of those type of behaviors. And then the one time where they are justifiably able to react that way, you look at them and say that they are a mean girl, they are this and they are that.
Yeah, it's like the angry black woman.
Exactly. So like the moment that a black person expresses themselves, it's, oh my God, like, I can't believe she acted like this, that, and the third. But then when you got this, I think she's Palestinian or whatever, and like has all these different traits that everybody thinks is so desirable and thinks she's so cute, when to me she really looked like Fiona, but that's your business.
Not too much.
But like everybody's like, well, you got to give her grace. And like, I think to me, the thing that made season 7 of watching Love Island so interesting for me is because the people who you decided to stand behind and who you decide to defend showed me a lot about your character. Because there's some people on there where I saw their behavior and I'm like, I've dealt with people like that in real life, and I would hate to stand behind them because I've seen that. And seeing people stand 10 toes behind them and never questioning their, like, any of like the behaviors that they presented was very triggering for me, because I'm like, y'all will allow anything. And some of the couples that these people wanted to win, I'm like, y'all have never had a stable relationship in your life. And some of the people that I know who showed me that they supported some of these characters, I know you're unable to have a stable relationship because I've seen what you go through. Before season 7, the reason why season 7 has all this popularity now is because of season 6. Now, when they had season 6, we had the only couples that are worth really mentioning. We had Serena and Cordell, who were the winners of season 6. Then you had Miguel and Leah, and then you had JaNa and Kenny. So again, like I mentioned, Serena and Cordell won the whole season 6. The runner-ups were Leah and Miguel, and then the third place winners were JaNa and Kenny, right? And the only reason why I know that is because of TikTok and everything like that. So like, because of like me seeing it so much on TikTok, you know, I started liking their stuff and interacting more with how I saw their TikToks. I was following I was subscribed to JaNa's YouTube. Like, she's a very bubbly personality. She seems very sweet, but then she also speaks her mind. Like, you know, I like the way that she presented herself. The body is bodying. She a dark-skinned female. You know, I rock with that. I'm an advocate for that. The dude that she was with, Kenny Rodriguez, he's Dominican. I'm like, okay, like, this is different. Like, okay, you get you a little black sister, right? This is the problem now, right? So Kenny and JaNa, like I mentioned, are third place winner. And as you see on the screen, this is the couple. Their breakup on social media has been spiraling, right? And the reason why it's been spiraling so much, so before like all three of them, like the three couples that I mentioned, they're all about to come up on their 1-year anniversaries. Leah and Miguel already celebrated. I believe Serena and Cordell's is coming up, and Kenny and Janae's was about to come up as well. So everybody was like looking forward to hearing these posts that everybody was about to make about these couples, everything like that, right? So like I mentioned, the Love Island USA season 6 stars Janae Craig and Kenny Rodriguez have confirmed their breakup after a year of dating, including time on the spin-off series Love Island Beyond the Villa. So Janae first hinted at the split by removing photos of her and Kenny on Instagram and unfollowing him. She later issued a statement describing the breakup as terrible, disgusting, and disappointing, saying the relationship was not genuine from the start. Kenny responded with a statement of his own, calling the experience difficult and expressing well wishes for Janae, which then prompted a spicier reply from her, accusing him of manipulation and dishonesty. So several season 6 castmates sided with Janae, including Leah, who called Kenny a racist and a scammer. Serena defended Janae's emotional experience, and most of their co-stars and the show host Ariana Madix have unfollowed Kenny, right? So when we saw this, right, they were just together at David Dobrik's party, right? And literally, I want to say 6 hours later, people are like, yo, she deleted all photos of her and Kenny on her social media. And then people look and she's not following him, but he was still following her. And he still had things posted on his Instagram of them. And like, she even removed his name from her bio and stuff like that. So everybody was already making speculations. Then we see that Leah and Serena, and like that was PPG, like the Powerpuff Girls. That's what they were considered like when the season was happening, because they were like, it was a trio, and like the way that they stood behind each other, like that's what made them so iconic, and that's like what kind of set the success for season 7, because people wanted to see like, wow, like this is what season 6 had for us in store. Let's see what season 7 has, right? So once that happened, Serena and Leah unfollowed Kenny. Then we see the boyfriends of Leah and Serena also unfollowed Kenny. And then like, we're like, yo, what is going on? Nobody knows what's happening. And like, now I like to feed into the drama a little bit. Now 1000, we say this all the time. Social media is not real, and getting involved in these celebrities' relationships is very unhealthy.
It's like viewers' discretion. Yes. You do that at your own risk.
But like, because like, for me, I feel like I've watched her content and I've seen how they've acted. To me, I didn't understand why they broke up. If y'all was just together 6 hours ago, lovey-dovey, all over each other, what happened, right? So everybody started making speculations that he cheated, and then there was like, you know, people run wild with rumors saying he cheated. Apparently the girl pulled up to her at the party and was like telling them like he was in a relationship with her. Like everybody's making these speculations, right? So basically what we come to find out in her statement, she basically finally put out a statement after days of everybody's making speculations, and basically said like, you know, all these speculations that everybody's making, like the breakup, like the reason for the breakup was far more disgusting and terrible than anybody ever thinks, right? So then Leah had made a post, and she basically has said like, you know, he's a scammer, he's a manipulator, he's this, he's that. Now one of Janae's close friends, her name is Charmaine. Charmaine had made a post, and she said, and this is like kind of like, it kind of put everything into perspective for people. So Charmaine had basically posted, my advice for women in relationships: if you have access, go through your man's phone today. Search keywords like, I don't like black women. I thought I would get more money from this. I'm faking this relationship. Going on the show would be for clout. I can't wait to be done with this so I can fuck hella bitches. And she's like, you'll thank me later. P.S. Never spare a man. Dog them out, baby girl. Right? So now everybody, like, things are coming more into clarity. So now this is why a lot of the girls are like calling him scammers and things like that, and racist, because apparently in group conversations that he was having with his friends, he was saying things like, I don't like black women, this, that, and the third. He was allowing his friends to call her the N-word and things like that. Disrespect her, right? And so when we saw this, we like, oh my God, that's crazy. Imagine being in a relationship with someone for a whole year just for you to find out they dogging you out behind the scenes. They using your name and your popularity for clout. Mind y'all were both on the same show. So you would have had your own clout too. It's just like, that is so disgusting to me.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly feel like the percentage of these dating shows actually working is literally 5% out of 100. Yes, there are those couples that actually work out, but the reality is that like you don't really get to know somebody if you are under cameras and lights 25/8, because people put up a front as soon as they see cameras, point blank period. And when you go on a reality show, at the end of the day, it's a reality show, it's a business. Like, people go in there with an a motive. Yes, like I said, there are those that successfully find their partner and everything is great and dandy, but like, you don't really get to know people. And unfortunately, like, I already have trust issues, like, as is naturally, like, that's just, that's my trauma. And so it's like, I feel like if you ever feel like you need to go through your partner's phone, the relationship just not right. Because it's like, okay, yeah, I feel like if you search for something, you're always going to find something. And that man is just, like, despicable, absolutely unacceptable, and it's disgusting. Like,
it honestly is disgusting. And so, like, first off, all three of them low-key are crash outs, right? Leah got her own brand of crash out, JaNa got her own brand of crash out, and we know Serena could crash out, right? So it's just like, people were like, we're trying to say, because like Leah, she was standing 10 toes, because of the PPG, they also had PPGM, which was like the Powerpuff Girl men's, like their men,
their partners.
And so Kenny was technically a part of that with Miguel and Cordell. And so once that happened, everybody was just like, yo, like, this is crazy. And like, Kenny had posted on his Instagram, like, there was a video from like their new spinoff series, Beyond the Villa. And Leah commented on it. I was like, take my man off your page, you clout scammer, like chaser or whatever like that. And so I had saw one of these comments where somebody had basically said that Serena and Leah are doing too much. Like, this is Janae's situation to handle. And let me just tell you this, right? Shayla will tell you this. And she yells at me about this sometimes.
She want to be everybody's superhero.
I am the friend that you got to tell last about a situation.
Yes.
Because the moment I found out, because my loyalty runs deep. Like, I love Shayla down, right? In my head, we family. And it's like, the way I don't play about my family, I don't play about my friends, especially to people I feel I'm very loyal to, and they have loyalty to me as well. I will never let Shayla fight a battle by herself. And Shayla will be like, Rebecca, I don't need you. I don't care. I'm 10 toes. There's been times where Shayla said that. I remember there was one time somebody said something slick to her on Twitter, and we went to school with this dude. I was right there in them comments. I was eating him up. I was not playing.
Yeah. I mean, I think, again, social media can be a lot. And I think the reality is, because they blew up because of their fame, because of reality TV, it kind of feels like that's the platform where you also gotta
do it,
clap back.
Exactly.
Because it's like, they are reality figures whether you want to or not. And so if that's your friend and she not saying nothing, again, simply because that's their persona, like, they are reality stars, so everything is expected to be out there in the public for everybody to see. Unlike just like A-list celebrity, if you just a regular actors, where it's like, you got your fame through this job. Right. They're the Love Island people, their whole persona is reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like, I feel like, honestly, to your point that you made earlier also, is like, when you go through a situation like this, being with somebody for as long as you have, and like, the villa experience isn't like your typical way of dating. Like, you are stuck with this person.
It's not real life. It's not. There are the 5% that work out. Yes.
So you are stuck in this environment and you're forced to be with this person. And like, it's not your typical way of dating. Like, if you're dating somebody, like, oh, we go on a date this day, we go on a date that day. No, I'm like sleeping in the same bed as you as day one. Like, that's insane. We are literally locked into this from day one. So like, the experience is 1000% completely different. And for you guys to go through this experience, and for you to never, like, I'm sure he liked her at one point, but at one point, I'm sure he's like, I see how much attention you are getting. And he came in there as like, I think he came in there as a bombshell. Like, again, I didn't watch the season. So when you come in as a bombshell, you're able to watch the season up until the point where you join, and you also get to see what the conversation's like already on social media. And like, people love JaNa because they were like picking her as America's sweetheart. So it's like, you actively don't like, and like, this kind of, now this is going into the grander conversation that people are having when it comes to Dominican men.
Girl,
And-
men all race. I'm not gonna say they all trash, but like, there's white men that don't like black women. There's Latino men as a whole, all countries that don't.
Yes,
There's their
I
own
know,
black
but
men
there
that
have-
don't like.
But we're
black
talking about
women.
Kenny specifically, and I'm bringing this up because you know my girl is Dominican and Puerto Rican, so I'm just telling her the conversation that's happened on social right now. So like a lot of people are like saying like this goes to the grander scheme of that, the conversation. But my whole thing is, I'm like, we already have trust issues. And imagine like you are a proud Dominican. I am a proud Haitian. I'm dark skinned, I'm plus size, I'm everything. Imagine dating someone who has convinced you that they love you for you. Come to find out they actually despise everything about you and they're only using you
For clout
for
and money.
clout and do the level of mistrust I would have.
Yeah.
Cuz it's like as confident as I can be, it's like that will shake my whole foundation because you did not love me for actual me.
Yeah.
You love what I could actually do for your image. And now, because of this, now everything that's coming out and people are exposing him for being a racist and everything like that, JaNa is still a sweetheart because some dude had made a video on TikTok claiming that his family and everything like that. She was like, no, his family had nothing to do with this. Kenny is the only villain. I'm like, that is a true-hearted person because she didn't have to say that.
Right.
She could have let that, like, whatever, that whole thing steamroll. So his following was, I think, like in the 800K, right? Girl, as of Thursday at 2:52 p.m., this man is at 611K followers. Every day, if I check again in 10 minutes,
Has he denied any of the things that she said?
he had made a statement. And oh, that's another thing. People have been checking these little statements that he's been putting out. He put out this one statement on his story and things like that. He was like, I wish JaNa the best, this, that, and the third. This breakup is really hard for me. Somebody had copied the statement and put it into the AI checker, chat GPT. 100%.
Chat
GPT. Yeah. And then his other statement that he had did like for her birthday, he had like did this long post. Somebody had decided to check it recently. Girl, AI. It's like 100% AI. All these things.
I didn't even know you could check that.
Yes, girl. I was stunned. And to my point, like I said, I think in this time, she's taking the time that she needs to deal with this because I think also what it is it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because if you all three of y'all as a trio, as a friendship group have been literally paraded because of the success y'all had in y'all relationships and we're all about to reach a year, my other two friends about to celebrate their year and I'm thinking me and my man about to celebrate a year and I come to find out this whole relationship was never genuine. That's embarrassing to me. Like, and I'm speaking about for me, because I'm very big on like Haitians. We have this phrase like "pas jouer na fille," like, and that's like don't play in my face. Like, we don't like people playing in our face. We don't like people lying to us. We don't like that stuff. I mean, as most people don't like that. But I'm saying for like growing up, like that's something that that's been beat into me, and it's just like then to see that, oh my God. I couldn't imagine. My heart goes out to her and to the people who are mad that her friends are defending her and speaking out. Like even her sister was like going in on him, calling him an N-word, everything. She was going in on him, right? It's like to the people who are like, well, like she needs to fight her own battles. You have never had someone who could stand up for you and pick you up when you are down. My friends will never fight a battle on their own because even though you feel like you could need to defend yourself, you also need to emotionally take care of yourself. And imagine draining yourself out emotionally while dealing with the repercussions of this, like the whole everything. I want to cry, I want to scream, and I'm over here arguing on social media on my behalf. No, I got your back, girl. Go ahead, go cry in that room. He ain't gonna say what, because the way I'm gonna tell you, if I saw you drowning in the ocean, I'd add water. The way I'm gonna tell you, I'd rather spend the rest of my life in a deep freezer just to watch you burn in hell for eternity, baby.
To wrap this series up, I just really wish that all the energy people put into these Love Island people in the show,
you put into yourself,
but also like real life issues that are actively happening in the country. That's that on that. On to comment down below if you're a real Love Island fan. I'm sure my good sister Becca
give us a take on anything we've talked about from the Sydney Sweeney thing, anything like that. Like, or if you have questions or want us to clarify anything that we stated in our opinions, definitely comment that below.
Yeah. So on that note, let's go into our sports corner.
You got 24 seconds and it's starting
Yes. Welcome to the Sports Corner. So if you are new here, let me explain. If you are reoccurring, welcome back. So our Sports Corner, because Shayla and I, as we said, too much. We love too many things, and we have opinions about so many things because we're complex individuals. And one of the things that her and I have a vast interest in is sports, and that ranges from NBA, NFL, WNBA. Shayla like tennis, this,
I
that,
like whatever
and the third.
ESPN got on.
Girl,
That's my new
she
favorite
will
sport.
watch it. She was watching. What were you watching the other day? I forget. I think she was watching ping pong tournaments or something like that.
Yeah.
She just be watching anything.
Not ping pong. It's like the new thing. It's not tennis.
Racquetball. No.
No.
I know what you're saying. It starts with a P, I think.
Pickleball.
I see that, yes. So our Sports Corner, we're going to talk about some of the trending topics happening in sports. Sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with the sport, but it's an athlete in that sport, so it's in our Sports Corner.
Yep. So on that note, the men over in the sports department are not doing well. Okay. Men across the whole thing, like from
the stratosphere.
Yes. The men journalists, the men face people, the men coaches, everything is just not okay. So this week, let's start with number one. ESPN cut ties with Shannon Sharpe after he settled a rape accusation lawsuit a few weeks ago. If you don't know who Shannon Sharpe is, he was like a Hall of Famer football player, right? I don't know if he's Hall of Famer, but he played football.
I believe he is.
And so, he was working at ESPN after leaving Fox after a whole like racist debacle happened over there. He came over to ESPN and he was like a talk head, essentially a correspondent. He would always give his takes. And then when the lawsuit came out alleging that his ex alleged that he raped her, ESPN kind of said like, we gotta like lay low for a bit.
Right.
And so time passed. Shannon Sharpe settled the case. Essentially, he gave her, I believe, like $500 million or whatever. And now ESPN is like, yeah, and you're not coming back. And then another thing that happened this week, NBA veteran Marcus Morris Sr., again, somebody that played in the NBA. He's already retired. He was also at ESPN. Sometimes he comes in as like a little correspondent, give his little 2 cents. Mm-hmm. He was arrested in Florida on a felony fraud charge connected to unpaid casino debts in Las Vegas. Authorities in Nevada allege he wrote approximately $260,000 in bad checks to the MGM Grand and Wynn Las Vegas hotels in May and June of 2024. So essentially, like, he wrote checks that I don't know if he knew they was gonna bounce back or whatever.
He thought he was slick.
Right. And they said, well, actually, Buki, we need our funds immediately. Another former NBA player, his full name is Gilbert Arenas. He was arrested on July 30th, and he is facing federal charges for allegedly operating a high-stakes illegal gambling ring out of his mansion in Los Angeles. He was arraigned in federal court, and he was granted release on a $50,000 bond, and he pled not guilty to the charges, and he's scheduled to go back in court September the 23rd. I'm just like, here's people that have money.
Yeah.
It's like,
but they're not smart with it. And like my whole thing is like, it gets to a point where you like realize like rich people don't know how to be rich, because make your money, relax, invest, do what you got to do. You already understand that you're on a public platform, so you got to be more wary when you do these stupid things. And it's just like, at what point do you realize like, yo, I got all this money, I should move more carefully?
And also, it's just like, that's why sometimes money can be a dangerous thing.
That's very true.
Because you could have all this money, and then it's like, well, now I want more, and now I want more, and now I want more. These NBA players, former athletes, they get paid money, honey. And keep in mind, the players that we're talking about, we're not talking about a bench player.
Yes.
We was talking about, baby, they in the starting, whether that's NFL or NBA, you starting. And yes. I know you are making money. So it's like, when it comes to the Shannon Sharpe, the rape allegations, there are people that would willingly, you know what I mean? Like, have an affair with you simply because you got money and you gonna buy them whatever they want.
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
Why? Then you have these people that make money, don't know how to manage their money, and they out here trying to do all these things and bet money. Like, you're about to lose. There's been other NBA players that, again, like, they have these schemes of, like, betting. You know that's not, the NBA not gonna play around with that.
Yeah.
Then you get got, and now you out the NBA, and now you
suspended
broke.
and you're broke.
For what?
And
like,
then you're gonna come out with a documentary later on in life, talk about I was stupid, I was dumb. Like, why nowhere in that point? And like, that's another thing. I feel like it's very important who you have around you as well, because like, he was like, to the player, I forget what his name is, that was like doing all these bets and stuff like that. Like, it would have went unnoticed, but then like, you got people who know you, like your barber, you're this, you're that, who are all making these bets on you and like making all this money. And it's just like, you do, mind you coming off the bench, you only averaged 2 points, but in this game you got 10 rebounds. What you doing?
Yeah, it's just scary. Don't get money get into your head, because it's very, very spooky. Of course, Shannon Sharpe is definitely gonna be fine. He already has his like,
podcast. He's settled already.
Yeah. But the men are not doing okay in the sports industry. But we did get some good news. There's one good news, one male.
So, as we've talked about in the past, Deion Sanders. So, he announced a major health update this week. But all eyes were on the person next to him. Okay, Karrueche Tran. Yes, I'm talking about Karrueche. Yes, Chris Brown and Karrueche. Like, what the game in Karrueche? Like Karrueche. Yes. So, a quick summary. Colorado Buffaloes coach and NFL Hall of Famer Deion Coach Prime Sanders revealed on July 28th that earlier in the year he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of bladder cancer. Doctors found a malignant tumor during the routine CT scan tied to his history of vascular issues and blood clots. He underwent surgery in early May to remove his bladder, and surgeons reconstructed a new bladder using a segment of a small intestine.
Child, real intricate, I didn't even know that you could do that.
Right. So, according to his medical team, the procedure was successful and he is now considered cancer-free. But in this video that everybody was seeing, it's like, you just see Deion Sanders come out of nowhere. And will not come out of nowhere. No. Deion Sanders was like, whatever, like...
No, you see Karrueche.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Oh. So, you know, in this little video, like, you see Deion Sanders talking, you see the family talking, and out there you see Karrueche in the corner crying. We like...
sobbing.
So yeah, we are here to fully remove the bladder.
Texting the boys.
I'm like, and like, to me, I think what it is, because a lot of people were like, had the same reaction as me. I'm like, it's just very random. Like, how did y'all?
They never be around the same circles. I never hear Karrueche talking about no sports, no nothing, like nothing.
But again, it's like, we don't know these celebrities, so we don't know what her interests and stuff are. But it's just very random, because like, even another one that was very random to me, Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson, very random. And it's just like,
But she been like dating NBA players, so like the same way with Kendall Jenner. Like, I would like, okay, that's her type.
Yeah, like, I get it, but it's just like the way the personalities are.
Klay is very slow paced from what we see.
Yeah, like, no, again, he's just very chill. Like, he's very much about his boat and his dead dog. Like, you know,
dead dog.
Yeah, the dog Roscoe. I think that's the name of the dog. It died.
But opposites attract. They say.
Yes, but it's like, I would have never like, if you paid me today as a matchmaker and asked me who would I put with Karrueche, Deion Sanders, Megan Thee Stallion, and Klay Thompson, I would have never paired any of them together. But again, I don't know them personally, so their personality traits could fit. It was just very random.
Also, there's like a 20-year-old gap. It's very important.
Where we're talking about Deion Sanders and Karrueche.
Yes.
That 20-year gap. But also in my head, I was thinking, I'm like, she has had a lot of failed relationships, like in terms of like Chris Brown, the game, and like all these different people.
Right.
So it's just like,
she wants something just stable.
If this ain't working for you, might as well just, I'm gonna try anything at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like, again, it was just so left field. I feel like no one was expecting
and
that.
it's like, I feel like the conversation shifted because everybody's like, we talking about Deion Sanders, cancer free, everything, but everybody's like, now I know we ain't just see Karuchi.
It really gave that we were like, oh, we're so happy for you. Why is she here?
Is that like, and that, like the thing is, none of them have issued a statement or anything. Again, they don't have to because that's their business. But it's like, so we just not going to address the elephant. It's not even the elephant. Like,
well, we are happy that he is now cancer free.
Yes.
And it was just so crazy not expecting that. But
hey, listen.
Do whatever works for you.
Do what works best for you. Shoot. Me and Shayla, 20-somethings.
Maybe we got to go find ourselves I'm 20, 30, a 40, a 50. I can't. I'm so
sorry. I wouldn't mind that. I like
50-year-old right now is OD.
We don't need to talk about my past then.
Okay,
so anyway.
Now let's talk about the WNBA. During our hiatus, the All-Star game happened.
Yes, I loved watching the stud buds. Like, them like going live and everything like that. Obviously, I didn't download Twitch or anything like that. But like seeing all these different clips on TikTok, them like at the dance party. And like when they were the only ones dancing to everybody, I'm like, that would be me though.
I thought it was so funny when they literally went up to Diplo. And they didn't know it was him. And they were like, can you switch the music? Because that's so real. And I wouldn't know
that would be me too. I couldn't even tell you what Diplo looked like.
And she, Courtney is so funny because she had talked to Rakia, who's also like, you know, she plays for the LA Sparks. Yeah. And so she was like, the key to going up to the DJ is you got to grab a fine woman to go up to the DJ and tell them to switch. I'm like, girl, it was just so funny. And I think it brought personality to the league. I think sometimes people want to be so polished up and people just want like real life.
But that's the same thing we talked about like when with the NBA, like when we talk about like Anthony Edwards, like players like that who are just like, they're unrefined, like they don't have any like PR training.
Right.
And it's just like, to me, I feel like if you look at me and Shayla's more PR trained than me. I got a little bit in me, but it really depends on the day because the right day, man, I'm not doing that.
If she wakes up on the right side of the bed.
Okay.
But we love the stud buds. They've been getting a little bit of controversy because of, you know, that Dave Portnoy, who's like, I think the president of Barstool, or like he's a higher up at Barstool. He created it. And like he shouted them out. And, you know, he's known for saying and doing not very nice things. Exactly. But we are running out of time, sis, so we got to just speed it up. Tell us in the comments if you know about the stud buds.
Yes.
Another thing I want to talk about is the New York Liberty. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries, which has been unfortunate. Stewie had she suffered some sort of some sprain on a bone, child. But we signed a new player. She was like the MVP in the Euro League, and people were kind of saying like, y'all are doing way too much. Y'all don't need all these players. But look, half of our players are injured, so now we do need her, sis. So good luck to my Liberty. Another funny thing that happened is during a recent game, someone threw a green dildo on the court. Neon green,
girl.
I'm just like, imagine this was the first time that someone was watching the WNBA game and then they just end up seeing a green dildo.
But my thing is, like, when Shayla told me this on the phone, I was like, wait, like, and you know, I find a lot of things funny, but to me, like, I didn't really find it funny because I'm like, you trying to be funny, you know?
You're doing too
it's
much.
Like you're doing this like to be funny. And especially what stadium was this at?
It was in Atlanta Dream.
Arena. Yeah, at the arena. So it's just like, my whole thing is, I'm like, I remember us going to see the Liberty at Barclays. I can't even bring a sip of water left. How's someone sliding a dildo?
I'm sure that it's not metal.
Where are you hot? Like, that is a big...
Imagine like opening up your purse. I mean, everybody's arena, they got to go through different security checks and stuff. But it was just like, what was the reason?
I feel like we're not asking enough questions. Where were you hiding? That thing was huge.
They were trying to be funny. And also imagine being the announcer on that.
Great.
Like, they dealt with the situation very good accordingly. If Rebecca was on the mic, I don't know what would have happened. Other thing I want to say before we wrap up is the league as a whole is trying to renegotiate like a new CBA deal. CBA means collective bargaining agreement. And essentially it's just like regular unions that people have for their jobs. The CBA is kind of like their group for that. So they really want to emphasize like the WNBA is growing, but the players also need to reap the benefits of that. Like, y'all are cashing in, keeping up all this money, and we're the players out there that are working hard. So
exactly. I mean, you saw that during like the All-Star games, like they wore the shirts that say like pay us what we're owed, basically. And it's like, you know, one thing I will say, like, especially with going back to the stud bud conversation, like, I saw a lot of people saying, like, oh, like, the stud bud put me on, like, to more interested to look at, like, the WNBA and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you know, as the attention grows and everything like that, you need to be also able to move with the time. I don't think it was ever unfair for women to be playing this sport that they say that they love and not being paid fairly, because I feel like everybody should get paid fairly, regardless of how you feel about the WNBA and the NBA. Imagine at your job not getting paid what you feel like you are owed, and you go there every day saying that you're doing that for your check, but your check barely reflects that. Like, that's unfair.
And just for a comparison, WNBA players receive 9.3% of league revenue compared to the NBA, where the players receive nearly 50%. So the current agreement they have, the WNBA players receive less than 10%. Meanwhile, the NBA players get around 50%. Like, there's so much discrepancies. And of course, like, yes, the league wasn't making as much money as it now is, right? Because there is more eyes and all the things that have changed. And it's just like, baby, you got to change with the times. Okay, I ain't have money before, but I know you do now.
Right, and you making all these changes. They finally get in locker rooms. They actually get in training facilities, everything like that. Why can't they get paid what they owed? Like, what you thought this was? I don't see you on the court.
Yeah, and the locker room thing, that's, like, specific to the owners and what they're, you know what I mean? But, like, Kathy know what it is. The same way she was out there dancing in the little stub bud thing. Sweetie, get it together, because at the end of the day, the players have said, like, we are going to do whatever it takes until we get what we deserve. So,
as they should. Speak up.
Exactly. So, anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much for supporting. We hope you guys enjoyed this new our new episode back for season 2. We appreciate you. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment. If you feel like we should be doing something better, or whatever you have, you know, any advice, whatever, leave us in the comments. We are always happy to hear
what emoji do you want them to drop?
Drop a phone emoji.
Yes, drop a heart. I always say the heart, but
what color heart?
The red heart, because we're back. We missed y'all, and I hope that you guys are excited to see what we have to bring to you guys this season. We have a lot of new stuff. As you can see, like we mentioned earlier, we changed our intro, changed these different segment graphics and stuff like that. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching us, supporting us, for even getting to the end of this video. If you did,
you are real one.
This is okay. And also, we're on Spotify, so if you ever feel like you want to listen to us but like don't want to sit there and get on YouTube, we are on Spotify, and you can also watch us there. Listen to us listen to us while you washing dishes, cooking for your fiance, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend,
whatever it is. Even if you're single, listen to us. We appreciate you, and make sure you follow us on all platforms. Too Much SB. See you guys next time. Bye.